What's going on, guys? Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you another deck on Pokemon TCGO, and today I am bringing you a deck centered around Naganadel-GX, and it is affectionately called Naganadel Beast Box, and this particular list was given to me by my friend Facepalm Tree, so big shoutouts to him on giving me this list and this idea for the deck. And also, before I get into the deck, just a reminder that if you guys like this video or found it helpful, please leave a like, drop a comment, click that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton, and let's do more cool stuff for you guys. And as for the question of the day, now that there are a couple more Ultra Beasts added with the new games, I know I asked this a long time ago, I think with one of the first Sun and Moon. Actually, I don't even remember when I first asked what your favorite Ultra Beast was. It might have been with Guardians Rising or something like that, but yeah, probably. But anyway, now that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon has brought us 4 more in the form of Poipole, Naganadel, Stakataka, and Blacephalon, I'm wondering, what is your guys' favorite Ultra Beast and why? This could be like based in the video game, this could be based in the TCG, whatever reason you have for liking a particular Ultra Beast above the others, please let me know which ones you like and why. As for me, while I do have a special spot in my heart for Xurkitree, as it was really the first mon that really introduced me to the draft format, I had it on a team when speed passing was allowed with Scolipede, so Xurkitree was able to actually win me a good amount of games just by completely sweeping through the opponent's team once I had passed speed to it. So I have a special spot in my heart for Xurkitree. Stakataka, I mean, I don't know why, but I just kind of like that thing. I like its design, I like its typing, but at the same time, I don't like its typing. So, I mean, I like Stakataka, but I would have to say my favorite Ultra Beast would have to be Blacephalon, just because, I mean, Fire Ghost, I mean, that typing in particular is kind of one of my favorites, and then also the fact that I was learning about the brain and had an entire class dedicated to neuroanatomy right when Blacephalon came out, so I'm like, oh, Cephalon, Mesencephalon, Medencephalon, like all those different names, like Blacephalon was just kind of a, hey, I know where that name comes from, so that's... And also, I mean, it's a special attacking fire type with ghost typing, which, I mean, are 2 of my favorite types, and then special attacking is probably my favorite attacking side. So, yeah, my favorite is Blacephalon. Let me know what your guys' favorite Ultra Beast is and why in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. And also, 2 things before I really get into the deck. First of all, I apologize if the mic quality is any worse than normal. I did just move home, and I'm kind of in between moving stuff back, so I'm forced to use my headset for the next couple weeks as opposed to my Snowball. However, the Snowball will be making a reappearance at some point, so for the time being, I'm having to use my headset, so I apologize for that over the next couple weeks, and also I apologize for today in particular. Just got back from the dentist where I had my lip numb, so right now, as far as I can tell, I do not have a lower lip, so I'm going to be slurring a little bit, so again, I apologize for that. Hopefully, as I keep talking, it will get better throughout the video, so I'm just going to kind of cross my fingers on that, and then hope that everything just works out well in the end. Oops, I dropped something. Oh well. But anyway, onto the deck. Like I said, it is centered around Naganadel-GX with the Beast Raid attack, and that's mainly what we are focusing on in this deck is Beast Raid. This attack does 20 damage for each of your Ultra Beasts in play. So the whole idea of the deck, have Naganadel active, get a bunch of Ultra Beasts on the bench, which is not hard to do with like Buzzwole, Xurkitree, Kartana, and then of course Ultra Necrozma, or not Ultra Necrozma, Dawnwing's Necrozma-GX. I mean, just very, very easy to do with this deck. It's very easy to search out Ultra Beasts. They have a ton of support with like Beast Ring, Ultra Space, and then Beast Energy, so it's very, very easy to do. And then you have the rest of the Ultra Beasts to just attack and do whatever you need them to do in certain situations, and also, the fact that we're mainly focusing on the fighting Ultra Beasts, we're mainly focusing on using Buzzwole as support. I mean, granted, we do have 3 others that are not Buzzwole, but Buzzwole is the backup attacker in this deck, while Naganadel is the main attacker. So that's really what this is, Naganadel Beast Box with an emphasis on Buzzwole as support. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go right through the cards and just talk about them, try to get you into the games as quickly as I can, as, I mean, let's be real, that's what you guys are here to see anyway. First off, we have 1 copy of Baby Buzzwole, as realistically, we're going to be attacking with a Buzzwole or a Naganadel until they go down. Our opponent takes 2 prizes. Well, once they take 2 prizes, Baby Buzzwole is hitting for at least 120 damage with Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer is an absolutely fantastic attack for a non-GX attacker. I mean, just one energy able to hit for 120 in the proper scenario, but also once they knock out like a Buzzwole or a Naganadel, they activate Beast Ring as well, so you can use Baby Buzzwole to take a prize off of them with its attack, while Beast Ring powers up your other Ultra Beasts in the background. So it's a very cool, very kind of floodgatey type of deck that really, really works out well. And of course we have two of the Buzzwole-GX with Jet Punch. It not only finishes off KOs from Naganadel, but can set them up as well, and then also can be the big one-hit knockout type of attacker in this deck, with Knuckle Impact doing 160 at minimum. I mean, if you factor in Choice Band and Beast Energy, it can do more. So it's really just kind of the big, beefy attacker that you attach the energy to with Beast Ring once a Naganadel or a Buzzwole goes down, and it forces your opponent to make plays around that. 1-1 of Xurkitree and Kartana. Xurkitree just to kind of buy time against decks that rely on special energy, and also have the Lightning GX attack, as Buzzwole and Naganadel's GX attacks aren't necessarily something that you're going to be using all the time. Naganadel's GX attack is an attack where it's like, okay, if your opponent pulled way ahead early game and it took you a while to set up, all of a sudden Naganadel's like, hey, even footing, let's see what you got. Let's see what your speed deck has on my setup heavy deck. And really it's just kind of a comeback GX attack where it's like, okay, I mean, if your deck's built for speed, you're built on taking prizes early and just trying to take your opponent out before they're able to get set up. Well, now I'm set up and you have trouble handling me when I'm set up. Let's get on even footing and see how you take me out. Buzzwole Absorption GX is an early game GX attack just to delete something. However, once they take two prizes, yes, they're still hitting for 160, but Knuckle Impact does 160 as well. I mean, you still can use this for the in order to be able to attack twice in a row, but you also are more than likely going to need Beast Ring in order to power this up, so your opponent's going to be down to 4 prizes. I mean, it's good for a comeback, but normally you're not going to be using that. You will be either using Xurkitree's GX attack with Lightning GX to add a prize to your opponent's deck, or Blade GX from Kartana, where you can just take a prize, and then Kartana also has the slice off ability to discard special energy. So you have a nice little interaction there with Xurkitree and Kartana being a little bit of special energy hate, and then also the Dawn Wings Necrozma in order to be able to rush in or invade and retreat. I'm still going to say rush in just because that's how I learned it. And yeah, just give free retreat to certain mons. We'll actually give free retreat to the whole team and be able to get out of like sleep and paralysis, that type of thing. And then 3/3 of Poipole and Naganadel-GX, just because, I mean, they are the main attackers of this deck. And finally, a single copy of Lele. Only a single copy because we have tons of ways of searching out Ultra Beasts with Ultra Space and Ultra Ball. That's funny, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew there was Ultra Ball, but yeah, Ultra Space, Ultra Ball, Ultra Beast, that's kind of funny. But I mean, we have plenty of ways of searching out Ultra Beast, so we really don't need Lele all that much. However, having one is still nice for a certain supporter that you want at a certain time. As for the items, for Beast Ring, just because, I mean, we're only going to play probably 2 at the absolute most in a game, but you want to have them at that very specific instance, and so having 4 of them maximizes the chances that you have that in order to be able to speed up as much as possible. 2, Field Blower, mainly because, I mean, yeah, we kind of rely on abilities, but choice bands are very, very annoying to this deck, so that's mainly to get rid of those. 1 Rescue Stretcher and 1 Super Rod. You can probably cut down 1 of each. However, this deck actually has a little bit of room for certain tech cards, so I like having a bit more recursion, but that's just me. 4 Ultra Ball and 4 Ultra Space in order to maximize our ability to get as many Ultra Beasts on the field as possible, as quickly as possible. 4 3/3 of Cynthia and Sycamore, just a line that I've tried out, that I'm happy with. I mean, it works for me, so just use whatever line you guys are comfortable with. 3 Guzma, just because Guzma is Guzma, and I like having 3 of them. 3 Choice Bands, 2 Float Stone, 3 Choice Bands to boost the damage output. 2 Float Stones for the Ultra Necrozma, so that we can, not Ultra, man, I keep saying Ultra Necrozma, Dawn Wings Necrozma, so that we do have the invade and retreat option. 1 Beast Energy to maximize damage output. 2 DCE, as, I mean, Naganadel can function off DCE with Jet Needle, and it can power up Stinger GX quicker if you need that, but really, this deck doesn't rely on it all that much. That's why there's only 2. 3 of the unit energy because it powers up Naganadel, Kartana, and Xurkitree. And then 6 fighting energy is really, that's what this deck is centered around. And Naganadel mainly attacks for colorless. I mean, again, Jet Needle does need a psychic, but you're mostly going to be using Beast Raid anyway. So yeah, that's the deck, and let's just go ahead and see it in action. Alrighty, we have found one against a Rocket Star 10 with a Dragon Dark Grass deck. So I honestly have no idea what my opponent is running, like, at all. I mean, Dragon and Grass could be like a Alolan Executor, but like that's the only thing that particularly comes to mind right now. I'm going to start off with my Xurkitree just because, I mean, that's a mon that can potentially stall for a couple turns, maybe if my opponent relies on DCE or something like that. And my opponent does have Drampa, so at the very least he's not going to be able to play DCE to attack my Xurkitree. And I do have the unit energy in my hand that I can just play onto it, to where I can potentially just use my GX attack turn 1 if I want to, make my opponent have to get 7 prizes as opposed to just 6. And he does go for the Pokemon Fan Club, which, I mean, unless you're playing EXs, yeah, honestly, I feel like just Bridget in this metagame is infinitely better than Pokemon Fan Club, because it gets you 3 as opposed to 2, and odds are you're going to be playing it down anyway. I mean, I guess the only way that it could be better is if you're trying to grab a Lele with one of them, but at that point you're only getting one benched Pokemon, one like truly useful bench Pokemon out of the supporter. And so I don't know, I really feel like it's just outclassed at this point. And I do get, I get a Buzzwole. So this is amazing if I can get a Float Stone. So actually what I'm going to do is just kind of wait for a little bit, see if I can draw into my Beast Energy, which would actually be great for Buzzwole. And I draw into some pretty awesome stuff, all things considered. I'm going to go ahead and Ultra Space grab... Do I want Necrozma or Poipole? I think I'm going to go ahead and grab the Necrozma to play that down so that I can start having free retreat. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my GX attack to throw something into my opponent's prizes, see what he has. And the reason I went for that is because my opponent did not look like they had a supporter, and usually they would only have like one supporter or one way to get out of a dead hand. And as you saw, my opponent only did have a Zoroark as a playable card that turn apart from the energy. So throwing that into the discard pile, or not in the discard pile, into the prizes, means that my opponent does not have access to it this coming turn. And if he wants, and okay, unless he top decked, yeah, he will be forced to use his GX attack. So that was, I mean, we both burn our GX attacks early, but I mean, I actually got something out of mine. I gave him an extra prize that he has to take. And what I can do now is, with the N in my hand, I can start powering up a Naganadel to start attacking that Drampa later. I mean, I could start attaching to Xurkitree, but honestly, I just want to stall. I just want to use it to stall at this point. And I get some very solid stuff. I get my Beast Energy, which I can play onto Buzzwole later if I draw into my choice band. And yeah, I'm just gonna end my turn right there. Maybe eventually I'll draw into a Float Stone so that I can get my Xurkitree out of the active. But I mean, for now, Xurkitree's really not doing a whole lot. I mean, it's just kind of there. So it's going to be able to just keep my opponent from attaching DCEs and attacking. Let me set up more Ultra Beasts onto the bench. That type of good stuff. So yeah, we're in a very good spot. My opponent will be able to Righteous Edge and get rid of my unit energy, which is kind of annoying. But like I said, I'm waiting on the DCE. Or I'm not waiting on the DCE. I'm waiting on the Float Stone. I could attach a DCE, and that would allow me to potentially retreat out. But I'd rather just wait on the Float Stone. That way I can maximize the effect of my attachments. And he does go for the Righteous Edge, just gets rid of my unit energy. That stinks, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. And so what I'm going to do right now, let's go ahead and use Ultra Space to get a Poipole. And then I'm actually kind of curious to see how this interaction works. So let's DC up. Actually, let's DC up Xurkitree because I didn't draw into a supporter. Let's go ahead and go into my Naganadel and go ahead and go for the Beast Raid. Do 100 damage to the Drampa, set up for next turn. And I didn't want to get rid of the Fighting Fury Belt just yet because, I mean, he could always play that down. I want to only get rid of the Fighting Fury Belt when I'm able to take a knockout with it. Because if I played it this last turn and then did 100 damage and then he just played another one down, well, that's essentially just kind of a wasted Field Blower. Yeah, I would have essentially gotten a Fighting Fury Belt out of that, like forced an extra Fighting Fury Belt. But considering my opponent still would have been able to potentially avoid the knockout would not be something that I want to happen. So my opponent is just going to play down the Lele, go for Choice Band up the Zorua. And yeah, I'm gonna have to take that thing out later in the game. And then he's gonna Cynthia. If he does attack me, I mean, even Berserk will not do 150. It will only do a little bit, and then he attaches to the Zorua. I mean, that's fine. That's just an energy. And he does, Righteous Edge gets rid of my unit energy, but honestly, that's fine with me. And so what I'm going to do now, let's Ultra Space grab... Do I want to grab another Poipole or a Naganadel? I think I'm just going to go ahead and grab another Naga to be able to evolve. Yeah, let's do that. Let's... How do I undo this? Let's Field Blower, get rid of... Let's get rid of the Choice Band, and actually... Okay, I'm interested to see how this works out if I get rid of the Ultra Space, because I can always just play down Kartana if I want to be able to take the knockout on the Dramp. In fact, I don't even need to play the Kartana. I can just play the Beast Energy, and actually I am able to use a second Ultra Space because I'm able to use a second Ultra Space simply due to the fact that I was able to discard it and then play it down. So, I mean, that was actually really kind of cool, being able to just discard my Ultra Space after I already used it, play it down, and then even with the Choice Band, don't even have to waste the Beast Energy just yet. I mean, it's kind of nuts how much extra boosting the Ultra Beasts have at their disposal. I mean, to be fair, it's really just kind of Choice Band and Beast Energy. But, I mean, if you talk about Buzzwole in particular, which I did a deck video on last week, then that's got, like, Strong Energy, Diancie, Regirock, all that stuff. So, I mean, easily able to boost up and do what we need to. And now with my opponent, I mean, unfortunately, I still don't have a supporter, and I don't have a Float Stone, so I really don't have any ways of switching out if my opponent is able to Guzma up something, which he does do. He brings up the baby Buzzwole, which stinks, but is not the end of the world. I think he might just be trying to stall, but he goes into Lele, and I get an Ultra Ball, which really doesn't help me. Let's Ultra Space, grab a Dawn Wings so that I can potentially thin out my deck a little bit. How do I want to do this? I mean, I could attach an attack. I think I'll thin out just a little bit more. Let's get rid of the Kartana and the Necrozma. Okay, so there's two Guzma, there's two Float Stones. So I mean, I got supporters in my deck. They're in there somewhere. And you know what? Screw it. Let's just attach the Beast Energy and then Sledgehammer. It's going to be doing 60, but I mean, 1 energy for 60 damage at the very least puts Lele in range of getting knocked out by even a non-choice banded Naganadel. So I mean, it's not like... I mean, if the attack would have just kind of been useless and it would have been something to the extent of, oh, I just want to damage the Lele even though Naganadel is able to one-shot it, then I would have held off on playing the Beast Energy, especially because we only get 1. However, given this situation, I think that it's in my best interest to at least put the Lele in range of Naganadel. My opponent does grab a Zorua and an Execute. My opponent still doesn't have a Zoroark. I mean, I know I made him prize a Zoroark, and finally we get a Float Stone. Good lord. And I think that will pretty much spell the end of the game for my opponent, as I'm going to be able to retreat into my Naganadel. Let's just Ultra Space, let's just grab Poipole. Just because, I mean, thins out my deck, lets me more likely draw into supporters in particular, and then let's knock out the Lele, see if I can get a supporter off the prizes or something, and I get another Naganadel. So if this one goes down, I will have a Poipole that I can play down, Choice Band up, that type of thing, although odds are I'm going to Lele for a Sycamore so that I'm able to... or I'll Lele for a Sycamore so that I will be able to, you know, actually have a hand and have energy, because otherwise without Naganadel, I mean, I have the Buzzwole, but it's really not doing... Buzzwole really wouldn't be doing a whole lot. I mean, it'd be sledgehammering for 60 damage. So, I mean, that's where that extra prize can come back to bite me. And, yeah, my opponent does just pass the turn. So let's just go ahead and Ultra Space once again. Grab the Buzzwole just to thin out the deck a little bit more. Field Blower, get rid of the Ultra Space. And honestly, I'm just kind of thinning at this point so that my opponent can't potentially... so that I won't be as devastated by an N. The odds are I will draw into something that I can use. And then let's just Naganadel, knock out the Zorua, and then, quite frankly, be in an amazing spot to potentially win the game, because all I have to do is just bring up one of the Zoruas or the Execute and then knock it out with Buzzwole, and I will be able to win the game. So, I mean, yeah, he can go into TCGO and start Feather Arrowing and Razor Leafing and all that stuff, but I'm pretty positive I'll still be able to win the game regardless of what happens, because I'm just a Guzma away from winning the game. In fact, I even top deck right into it. So even though I drew a whole lot of Jack in terms of supporters, I'm going to finish this off with Baby Buzzwole just because, I mean, hey, it's Baby Buzzwole. Let's let him shine a little bit. Even though I drew into a whole lot of Jack in terms of draw supporters that game, that just showed how powerful Ultra Space was. I mean, even though I didn't draw into my supporters like I wanted, I was still able to constantly get Ultra Beast into my hand. I was able to get the Mons that I wanted into my hand simply due to Ultra Space, and I think that was kind of a cool interaction with Field Blower, getting rid of an Ultra Space, playing down another Ultra Space, so that I was able to search for Ultra Beast twice. I don't know if that's, like, technically legal per se, but I mean, it seems like it would make sense just because, I mean, the stadium goes away, you play down a new stadium in its place, and you're able to take advantage of that. So, I mean, yeah, very, very solid first game. Naganadel just overwhelmed him. Let's go ahead and try to find another one with this deck. Alrighty, we found another one against TCGO 420. Trico. I just got that. That's funny. So Tree Company 420, so it's a TCGO 420 Blaze It, with what appeared to be a Metagross deck. I mean, I saw Metal, I saw Psychic, and I saw Water, so just kind of going with the assumption that this is a Metagross deck, and I start off with a very good hand, all things considered, because I have a Buzzwole, and I have a Poipole that I can attach an energy to, so that it's not necessarily in danger of being attacked, so... And then I have a Shuffle Draw, so I don't have to get rid of my Beast Ring or my other supporter. So basically, I have a very good hand to start off with. And, I mean, I get another Beast Ring, so, I mean, it's not the best thing in the world. And we see a Cosmog. Huh. So, honestly, I don't know what my opponent is running with the Cosmog, and this works very nicely. Do I want to play a third Poipole? Yeah, screw it. I think let's just go ahead and go for it. Sorry about that. Something popped up on the screen, and no, it's not what you think. I accidentally hovered over one of the icons on my menu, and it just kind of made everything, revealed the background, that type of thing. So, yeah, sorry for that. But anyway, considering, well, actually, all things considered, I mean, I have 3 Poipole down. I have a Buzzwole active. I have an Ultra Ball in my hand for next turn to be able to get a Lele for a Sycamore. So, honestly, I have a great setup. I think Poipole and Naganadel should be enough, depending on... Actually, no, Lunala isn't weak to Psychic, and the... What is that other thing? Solgaleo, there we go. The Solgaleo is resistant to Psychic, so that's actually probably going to cause a little bit of a problem. My opponent is going to go ahead and Lele for a Bridget, so get a decent setup. I'm thinking that I'll just probably Jet Punch with Buzzwole until it goes down, so that I can put everything in range of Beast Raid, that type of thing. And there is a Necrozma. Ooh, we see a Necrozma. That thing is going to be, I'm definitely targeting that thing down. And, oh man, I get a Baby Buzzwole, which I don't necessarily want to get rid of, but I mean, yeah, it's better if I do this, so let's just go ahead and grab the Lele Baby Buzzwole. While it's nice, probably won't be doing a whole heck of a lot this game, so let's just go ahead and grab the Sycamore. There is no point in giving my opponent a fresh hand or going for a Cynthia, because, I mean, I have no hand anyway. I want that 7 cards, see if I can get something good, which I definitely do. That Ultra Space is very nice. So let's... Wait, no, that's not the... I was like, what am I doing? I was like, okay, let's just play that down. Let's Ultra Space for a Naganadel. I'm going to hold off on playing the Float Stone for the time being. Let's actually get rid of the... Actually, you know what? No, let's get rid of the Choice Band off Buzzwole, Float Stone up Buzzwole instead, and then go into Naganadel so I can start taking... knockouts, because I need to prevent that thing from becoming a Solgaleo. A Metagross, while it's annoying, I can deal with it. But Solgaleo would definitely be a gigantic issue. A gigantic issue to deal with. So, yeah, able to knock out the Cosmog right there, and in a pretty solid spot. I mean, I have a Naganadel. I'll be able to get more Naganadel. And then I can just keep attaching energy to like Buzzwole, maybe attach the energy to the Poipole on the bench, that type of thing. So it's just a matter of what type of GX attack or what type of attacking I want to go for. I think for the time being, I'm just going to continually Beast Raid, as I'm pretty positive that's my best mode of play. And we see the what's that called? See the metal energy. Wow, I am just blanking hard on words, and wow, he even had the Cosmoem in his hand, so very glad that I decided to just knock out that Cosmog, because, like I said, the second that thing becomes a Solgaleo, I'm in deep trouble, and I'm positive that this is a Solgaleo just because he's running metal, and there's absolutely no I mean, there's some reason, I guess, but I mean, you're running a metal deck. You're going to run Solgaleo. You're not going to be running Lunala. Yeah, so, I mean, my opponent's running Solgaleo, Lunala, or Solgaleo and Metagross. So, I mean, he does get rid of my Ultra Space, which is kind of unfortunate, but what I can do... Do I want to play the regular fighting or the unit? Let's play the unit, because then that can also function with the DCE in order to be able to attack, and then... Yeah, let's play down the Xurkitree. It's not going to do a whole lot for me, but at the same time, I mean, I need it, I think, to get the knockout after that. So yeah, let's just go ahead and Beast Raid, knock out the Necrozma. And yeah, I mean, I needed the Xurkitree to come up in order to knock that thing out. And because Necrozma could hit my Naganadel for weakness, I had to take him out before he potentially took me out. And now we are down to 3 prizes. So... I'm not sure what GX attack I'm going to use. I don't want to use Naganadel's because then that evens up the playing field. And with Metagross, you don't want to give him time. You want to take an insurmountable lead. And the only reason that you would use Naganadel's GX attack is if your opponent took a very large lead. We are going to see... We're going to see a Solgaleo. Okay. That's kind of scary. Soulburst. Okay, he's going to Soul Burst and just start attaching energy. So I think what I want to do is actually hold on to my Beast Ring then. Because if he knocks out my Naganadel, because I can hit him for some good damage, but then I want to hold on to my Beast Ring so that as soon as he knocks out Naganadel and takes 2 prizes, I can respond immediately with a Buzzwole, which should be enough. I get an Ultra Space. Let's go ahead and play that, get another Naganadel. And unfortunately, 1 is prized, but, I mean, I should be able to draw into that at some point this game. Let's play that down. And then I'm actually going to Cynthia, because, I mean, I should be able to get a Beast Ring. Yeah, I mean, I play enough of them. And I get the DCE. So, because I have the DCE, do I want to attach in Jet Needle? Because... Yeah, because that's not affected by resistance. I think I want to go for the Jet Needle as it's not affected by resistance. And then that just puts Solgaleo in range of potentially something next turn. He will be able to knock me out. But this guaranteed puts him in range of absorption from Buzzwole, as it would have done... Yeah, he would have been 10 HP away from living. Actually, if I had just regular... He would have been 10 HP away from living had I just Beast Raided, but because I went for the because I went for the attack that I did. He has 110. He's 100% in range. Actually, Knuckle Punch, not Absorption. Absorption is a GX attack, but now he's in range of the Knuckle Punch. Luckily, there are 2 energy in my deck that I'm able to Beast Ring, or Knuckle Impact. Jet Punch, Knuckle Impact, and Absorption GX. Ugh, my bad. But here we go. I can grab another... Do I want to grab another Buzzwole? Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. I mean, something that I can potentially Beast Ring onto. And then I'm just going to save... I'm going to save my Guzma for next turn. Absorption, unfortunately, does not do quite enough. If I had a Beast Energy on, it would. But at this point, I just had to go for the Knuckle Impact. I have the Guzma in my hand for next turn. And I even draw into a Naganadel that will allow me to evolve my Poipole, and also I can just search it out with Ultra Space, that type of thing. So I'm in a very good spot. He's going to Rare Candy into Metagross. Yeah, he's Rare Candying into Metagross. So that's going to be able to hit me for... It's going to be able to hit me for a good amount of damage. He'll be able to hit me for 150, but he will not be able to knock me out unless he has Kukui and Choice Band, which, all things considered, I don't think he necessarily has that in his hand at this specific moment. So no, he does not actually have either of those. He's just going to Giga Hammer me for 150, and we will be able to take the game. First things first, let's evolve into our Naganadel. And then... do I want to play the energy? Sure, why the heck not? Let's attach the energy to Buzzwole in case for some reason my math is incorrect. And then let's retreat. Actually, no, because his Metang has 90 HP, I'm going to have to attack it with Buzzwole. So let's retreat, go into Naganadel, Guzma up the Metang. I'm not going to make the same mistake I did in a live last week, or 2 weeks ago, in which I did the improper Guzma order. I was able to do things in the right order, take out the Metang, and we are able to win the game. Even though Buzzwole took 4 prizes, Naganadel was still the MVP. And yeah, so I mean, that was a very, very good exhibition of this deck, I think. I mean, I was able to show off exactly what it does. I was able to show off what Buzzwole does for the deck. And I might have a different version of Naganadel Beast Box in the future where I where I focus more on the metal side of like Naganadel Metal Box, but I think Naganadel with Buzzwole is the better way to go, and then Tekken, Xurkitree, and Kartana for specific situations, but ended up working out. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and this is Styx signing out. Why not? See you guys.